I'm going to be talking to you about timing your entries and exit into a stock or ETF. It's always nice to get that extra 0.5% even, or 0.75% on your buy on the same day. And the best way to do that is using the 5-minute PMO with a 5-minute RSI. So let's go ahead and look at the chart and see how we would time our entries and exits to get the most out of the day. So first of all, I have the chart of Verizon, the daily chart on the left. And then on the right, I have the 5-minute candlestick. So what we do is on the left, I do my analysis to decide whether I want the stock or not. I don't use the 5-minute chart for that. I use a 5-minute chart because it gives me lots of information, plenty of candlesticks to help me time those entries and exits, but it's really not for determining whether you want the stock or not. So over here on the daily chart for Verizon, you can see a nice breakout above the 20 and 50-day EMAs, and now some upside potential to get to the top of the current trading range. So this looks like a good stock, something I might be interested in buying. You've got that PMO buy signal, you have stochastics well above 80, RSI is positive. A lot of good things going on here in this chart. Additionally, you have a group that is outperforming, and you can see that Verizon is outperforming the S&P as well. So now that I know I want the stock on the daily chart, now I'm going to go over and determine what the good buy points and or sell points might be, because you can use this for your entries and your exits, as I was talking before. So looking at this 5-minute candlestick, a conservative entry into a stock is defined as a PMO crossover, upside crossover or buy signal, combined with a positive 5-minute RSI. Now you can certainly go in with a little less conservative entries with looking at just when the PMO bottoms or maybe when the RSI gets positive, but I find that by waiting for those conservative entries and exits, it's usually a little bit better success that you're going to find. So we've talked about the entries. Let's look at some of the exits. An exit is simply when the PMO turns over, when you have negative momentum. Just as an aside, I'm not going to buy a stock unless on the daily chart and the 5-minute chart, the PMO is pointed upward. My success is always better if I'm getting into a stock that has positive momentum, rather than trying to pick up on a reversal where momentum is still being shown as negative. So we've talked about the conservative entries on a PMO crossover and a positive RSI. So let's look at how they work out. So on Verizon, you can see that the last buy point came in here the day before on May 25th, positive RSI, crossover on the PMO. That would have gotten you in right about here, or even just as it was breaking out above this resistance level. Just one more confirmation that this is probably going to be a good buy point. So we get in, and now we're able to ride it all the way up. And if we're a day trader, certainly you could wait, and when the PMO starts to turn over, which would have been right here, you could make that your exit. Or you can wait and hold that stock for a while and take advantage of that excellent entry that you made. So if you've made your entry back here and you just look at the amount you could have made just for that entry, you're looking at about 1.3%. So just by timing that entry and waiting for a safe space to get in, you've already given yourself an advantage going into the next trading day or during the trading day. So the sell point came in over here. Like I said, that would have gotten you out there. Now over here, a little confusing, right? Because the PMO is starting to rise, but it began to fail. And honestly, right here, when we were starting to see that PMO maybe crossing up and over, the RSI had turned negative. So that told me that probably not a good buy point. Now we have a new buy point that just came in, and that is that PMO crossover and the RSI just now getting positive. So this would be your entry right here. And more than likely, if this stock does what it's supposed to do based on the daily chart, you're going to pick up some extra points on your entry that way. So that's really the simple way to use the 5-minute candlestick to time your entries and exits using the PMO and the RSI.